A lot of times kids at the beginning of school want to know what to expect in a class. So I'm making this video for you. You'll see here when you're given your expectations in class, you have my website given to you. The website is a really good resource for parents mostly. We'll be using Google Classroom, but the website will have a link to that as well. Notice in Google Classroom here down below, I do have the codes for second period and third period. And second period, by the way, that is an L, not a 1. If you need to email me, here's my email address. As far as expectations in class is concerned, you do need to know that this is an EOC. Oh no, it's not going to kill you. I know that a lot of people stress the EOC, but if you do well in my class, you should do well in the EOC. You know, the EOC is just another test. If you prepare along, it won't be that difficult. You do, however, have to pass the EOC to get credit for biology and to graduate. Also, this semester, we are going to be creating creative interactive notebooks. The composition book that you saw in your supplies list will be used for our interactive notebook. You do need to have that with you every single day. If you feel like you might lose it, you can leave it in the classroom with our classes books. A lot of times kids are really surprised at how different biology is from any other class that they've had. They aren't prepared for how much studying they're going to have to do or how much independent work they're going to have to do. I'm not just making it hard. It is its own animal. It's really, really challenging. But if you are learning and learning well, it shouldn't be comfortable. If it's comfortable, then you're just reciting what you already know. If you feel like you're lost, I will definitely help you. And there are things that you need to do, which you see in our next little bullet point. There's a couple of keys to success here. You do need to organize yourself, get organized, and stay organized. And effective students reflect. Upon that daily reflection, they review what they've learned and what they need to relearn. And this does need to happen daily. I hesitate to call that homework because it is something that should just happen every day. But your student does need to do that. And if there's help that he or she needs, I will definitely be glad to help. You also need to keep up with your progress, including not just your grades, but if you understand something or not, what depth you understand it at, and you need to advocate for yourself. Realize that you're lost and come in immediately to get help for that. There should be no food or drink in any science classroom. I do have kids that get low blood sugar. I get low blood sugar. And you got to eat a snack. As long as you talk to me about it ahead of time and you don't make a mess, it should be fine. But I don't want any drinks in the classroom besides water because they make a sticky, googobby mess. Speaking of suggestions and what to do and what not to do in the classroom, I really only have one rule. A lot of people have several rules with consequences listed. To me, that just means this is how many times you can get away with something before I get mad and give you a detention. This rule that I have is basically how you should live life. I suggest that you don't do anything that would bother anybody in the whole wide world, including yourself. If you do, I'm going to ask you to stop. If you can't or won't do that, then whatever the consequences are will be between you and me, that person and me. If you ever think that something is unfair, all you have to do is say calmly, whisper it to me even, I'm not so sure that's fair. Can we talk later? And certainly we will. Breakdown in class on grades. We are on a 10-point scale at West Henderson. Again, here are my class categories. Tests are very important. Tests are arranged like the EOC, so it's preparing you for the EOC. So I count those 40%. Quizzes will be 25% because they're getting ready for those tests, getting you ready. The work, I don't want to call it homework or classwork or projects. I've got 2 levels. Level 1 is the work that we're still kind of working on, and that's 15%. Level 2 is showing me a little bit more mastery, and that's 20% of your grade. If you need help, like I mentioned earlier, my office hours, tutoring times, are Monday afternoons from 3:05 to 3:45, and Thursday mornings from 7:30 to 7:50. You'll come in, you'll sign a logbook saying what time you got here, what time you left, what we're working on. If that needs to be used for makeup time later, it can be. I'm not available on Monday mornings because I'm getting ready for the week, or Wednesday mornings because of professional learning community meetings that we have. If you need an appointment time and a time other than listed, just talk to me. We'll work it out. As far as absences are concerned, if you are absent, either sick or school-related, you're still responsible for making up that work. If you're sick, you have 2 days to make up the work without penalty. It's your responsibility to make sure you get that late work. from the website or from the Google Classroom. If you can't find it, talk to me. You've probably been nagged to death by your teachers before where they go, you need to make up that late work. You need to make up that absence work. That's not going to happen. You need to be responsible for this. That's what the adult world is going to expect of you. And it's like pulling off a Band-Aid. I got to do it real quick for you and show you how to be a little bit more adult driven. If you have any questions about that, I'd be glad to talk to you too. You are allowed 5 non-school related absences. So if you're absent for any reason that's not school related, you have 5 of those. Anything after 5 you need to make up during makeup time. And I can clarify that for you later if you need, or you won't get credit for the class. Remember I said that your tutoring time could be used as makeup time? Ooh, there you go. As far as tardies are concerned, tardy means that you are not in your seat when the bell rings without prior approval. If you ask me if you can go somewhere and I tell you, yes, you can go before the bell rings, then that's not really considered a tardy. But if you're hanging out in the hall with your friends and you decide to saunter in after the bell rings and goes, I'm not tardy, yes, you are. You need to be in your seat and ready to go because we have a lot of stuff to do every day. You are expected to have your binder and your writing utensils and any materials you need for the day, which I have a list of those on the board so you'll know where they are every day. You need to have that out before the bell rings. If you're tardy, the first one's free. The second one is a 15-minute detention. The third one is a 30-minute detention and a phone call to your parents. And the fourth one is an ISS referral with a phone call to your parents. Please don't be tardy. Now, as far as late work is concerned, a lot of people, life happens. You got to turn in work late. That's fine. All work is to be turned in at the beginning of class, the day it's due. I'm going to give you 9 late passes, 1 for each week of the quarter. That pass gives you 1 penalty-free day. If you need to turn in something late, you have 3 options. The first one is just turn it in a day late, you get a 10% penalty. You don't have a pass, you don't want to use a pass, whatever. Turn it in with a 10% penalty. The second option is turn it in a day late with a pass for no penalty. It's basically like the late situation never happened. Or if you need to turn it in 2 days late, you can do that with a pass for a 10% penalty. It's really important to do the work as we're learning it. Otherwise, it's not as effective. No work will be accepted after that late work grace period, and it will receive a 0. I'm not going to be too mean on you though. If you have a 0, there will be opportunities for magic 100s that you can earn for extra credit, and that magic 100 can replace that low grade or a 0 with a 100%. There are 2 of those that you can use per quarter, period, end of story. And if you have any questions on that, again, you can talk to me or email me. I'd be glad to clarify. Cheating or plagiarism is a situation that happens a lot. Please understand that any work that I get from you, I expect it to be your work. Cheating can be defined as anything that comes from a source that is not you. It could be another student. It could be from the internet. You could pay somebody to write your paper for you. The thing that gets me is a lot of kids don't think that if they let a kid copy their paper, that they're cheating. If you have somebody else's work and turn it in as yours, you're cheating. If you let somebody copy your work, you're cheating. The response from me to a cheating student or a student who has cheated is an intervention. That intervention should be a combination of me, the student, and the parents and or administration, and it could result in a 0 being given for that assignment and or disciplinary action. Again, if you have any questions about any of these things, please contact me. Here's my email. Here's my website. I hope this was very enlightening. Thank you.